Hello, and welcome back, my fellow gamers. This is DZ Devil Gamer Plays. Today we're going to be doing something just a little bit different. So what I wanted to do is introduce you guys to, after over 2,000 hours of playing this game, I have like my 10 kind of rules / strategies for long-term survival in Project Zomboid for new players. So I'm going to kind of set these up for you. I'll kind of give examples as I go. Hopefully these 10 things, if you follow them, will give you a long-term game if you follow them. So we're going to start with the first one, which is your settings. So when you start out a new game, my suggestion is, especially if you're a newer player, was when you start out and you go solo, is go custom sandbox. The reason for this is because it allows you to really affect your change more in the game. So for me, there's kind of like several mods that I choose, but the one that I would say is one of the most important mods is going to be this one here. It is called Simple Flashlights on Belt. Now, Simple Flashlights on Belt is created by Kameron. And what this allows you to do is it allows you to attach your flashlight to your belt, and then you can click the light on and off while it's on your belt, thus allowing you to hold your two-handed weapons with both hands instead of one, thus allowing you to be able to hit the zombies with your full strength. So it's a must-have for me as far as recipes. So it's one that I would recommend that every new player should have in their arsenal of mods. All the other mods are just quality of life type stuff. There's nothing really that important, but I would definitely say the flashlight is a must-have if you're starting out. It'll definitely make your game a lot easier. All right, so the next part is where you start out. I would suggest starting out someplace like Riverside or Rosewood for new players. Only because the amount of loot you'll find there will make your game easier. You can start out in Echo Creek, however, there's not as much loot there. There's not as many zombies there as well, but there's not a lot around there. So you'll eventually have to leave that area to go elsewhere to loot. And it's more of like a farming kind of community. So there is a good gas station there if you'd like to base up there, but that's pretty much it. There's not really anything else. So that's it for location. We'll just choose Riverside here for our start. The next thing is your settings. So this is kind of the important ones. If you're a new player, I would suggest you start out on normal zombie count settings. I wouldn't change that. And then for zombie respawn, I would turn that off. You don't want the zombies to keep respawning because basically you'll never be able to clear an area if you don't turn that off. You're constantly having to kill the same zombies over and over and over again, so I don't recommend keeping that on. So everything else here is fine. The other thing I change usually is blood and saliva. I change it to saliva only, so it's only a bite that gets you infected. As I feel that that's more realistic. I don't like the blood idea being the thing that gets you. The other thing that I change here is since they've added the hearing, the pinpoint hearing, if you play the apocalypse settings, you're going to have several zombies that are going to have the pinpoint hearing. And what that does is it allows all those zombies to come to you every time you hit or kill a zombie or make any noise. It makes the game way more difficult. So my suggestion is either to turn it down to poor, or you can do the random between normal and poor, which is what I do. It makes it a little bit easier, especially that pinpoint hearing is just awful. Makes the game very difficult. So if you're starting out, you're going to definitely want to change that as far as settings. The other things I turn off, other people may not agree with, is the zombie drag down. I don't like when they can drag you down to the ground and make it so you can't run away. I turn that off. The crawlers drag down, I also leave that off. I don't want the crawlers to be able to drag me down on the ground. And then the zombie lunge over the fence and windows. Some people like that. I don't like it at all. I turn that off as well. So And then the other thing is the world zombies, the fake zombie reanimation. I don't like that at all. I don't know why they ever added that. I turn that off always. So that's it as far as settings. I don't change related. This rule again is when the zombies come at you, you want to back up. Give yourself some space to be able to back up and move away from the zombie. See how that one comes at me and I'm backing up? You can also stand on them once they're down and they can't get back up and hurt you. So that's also something to do as a new player. The other thing I'm going to show here is fencing. So let's check our health real quick. All right, we're doing good. We're not strained. So there's 3 zombies up there. So what you can do is you can use the fencing here to your advantage. Because you'll get instant kills when they climb the fence. Check behind you, and then check the fence. So that is another rule, is always use your fence. Fences are your friends in this game because you can hop them over. So the zombies come up this side, you can get on this side. So you want to use them as often as possible. They can save your life sometimes, especially if you're dealing with a lot of zombies all at once. You can hop back and forth like this. Just try not to run when you're doing it. It's a quick way to get yourself hurt, and you will find yourself injured. All right. So here's my other rule in this game. Okay. Always have your weapon at the ready before you open up a door. If you're trying to figure out where the zombie is, you can also hit the door to excite the zombie, and the zombie will react to you hitting the door. That way you can find the exact location of the zombie. But once you know the location, when you open the door, you want to back up, like so. Don't ever just stand still. Back up as you open so you can always push the zombie away or hit it with your weapon. Again, another important rule if you want to survive long term in this game. Unfortunately, I'm tired. So I'm breaking one of my own rules at the moment, which is never to fight drowsy or tired. Yeah. Yeah. So I have the muscle strain already, and I'm drowsy. So this is when you don't want to fight zombies. You usually want to run away at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cross over. I'm going to wait for this last zombie, and then I'm going to go home and sleep. Beesh. Alright. So again, this is part of that thing where I said you want to rest often. So we're going to go back to our house, go inside, and we're going to rest. Ah. Okay. So this takes care of our other rules, resting often as possible. And that relieves any of your muscle strain. As you see, I had the muscle strain going on, and now it's gone. So the other thing that you're going to want to do is never fight tired. So what I was just doing is a bad idea. So generally what you're going to want to do is sleep as often as you can, whenever you can. So the best way to do that normally is to secure your location. And the way you want to do that is you want to stick something usually in front of the door. So what I normally would do is I would have a propane tank and a metal sheet, and I'll put the metal sheet over the door, thus blocking the door so I can sleep in here safely without ever having to worry about something getting me. The other thing you can do is, my other rule is part of your securing your space where you sleep, is you can put something in front of the door. Something as simple as picking up... What the hell? Seriously? Trying to show it. I don't have a hammer? Oh, thought I had a hammer already. Okay. So I don't have a hammer in order to show that. But normally you'd want to have a hammer, and then you would secure the door so that you could sleep. Alright, so here we go. Rule number 8 or strategy, one of the things that I always do is maintaining your health status. So in here under your normal info, you want to make sure that you don't have the overweight or underweight on your character. Both of those hinder your ability to swing a weapon. So you want to make sure you do not have that on your person. So if you do, in order to fix it, so fish to gain weight, you cook and eat the fish. First you got to catch them, and that'll make your weight go up. And then use cooked eggs, which are pretty easy to get now with the chickens in the game, and veggies, any kind of vegetable to help you lose weight, and then that'll help maintain that. So that's one of my 8th rules or strategies. The 9th one is kind of more of a, I don't know if it's a strategy, more as a thing that you should do just on the regular. So there's several things that you want to as must-haves on your character. One, as soon as you can find alcohol, make these sterilized rags. They've saved my life more times than I can count. Anywhere from deep wounds to fractures, anything like that. These help immensely. The other thing you want to keep on you is the suture needles and tweezers. These are both necessary in the event that you get a deep wound. So if you don't have those on your character, you will suffer for it. The other thing is kind of more of a gear item, the sledgehammer. So a lot of people think of the sledgehammer as only a tool to get into places like the police stations and other places where they have firearms behind secured doors, that it's only for that. Sledgehammers can also break down regular walls in houses. So should you find yourself surrounded and you're in game and you happen to come through and you're in a room, let's say like this, and you're in your bedroom, you block the door so the zombies are banging at the door or they're trying to come through the window. You can literally take the sledgehammer out and break down the wall here. You could break down the wall here. I don't have a sledgehammer on me right now, so I can't really demonstrate it. But anyway, all these walls can be broken down, and basically you can make yourself a little escape portal instantly. I mean, it's not instant. I mean, it takes, I think, like 2 hits for it to happen. But in those 2 hits, you provide an opportunity for your character to still live or survive. The other thing I'm going to say, I'll call this rule number, or strategy number 10, which is basically secure where you sleep. So if you're in a room like this, there's 2 things you can do. You can put something up against the door, or you can secure it with a steel metal sheet using the propane tank, over top of the door, which will secure the door long enough for them to, it'll take the zombies longer to bang on it to knock it down, which gives you a chance to wake up, or again, like I said, use the sledgehammer and create yourself an escape route out of the room. Especially if you choose a room that has no windows and you only have the door. So normally when I settle, I normally pick a room that has no windows as my bedroom. If it's an upstairs room, you'll have to have a sheet, leave the window so you can have a sheet rope to escape out. But if you're on the ground floor, you want to have that sledgehammer so you can literally just knock down the wall. Normally, it doesn't give you the option to disassemble walls. But if you have the sledgehammer on, it'll give the option to destroy the wall, which will, again, allow you to escape. So that is my 10 rules / strategies to survive long term in the Zomboid game. I hope you liked the video, and goodbye.